Good evening. Good evening, all of you.
Good evening.
So today we'll be doing totem animals. For that, you just need a sheet of paper and a pen or a pencil. Okay, and we have Jay today. He's part of our Emoja team, and he'll be heading the session, and I'll be taking over after some time.
Yes. Okay,
So
great.
Jay, you
Uh,
can go ahead with an introduction, or do you want me
okay.
to start off and then take the introduction?
Anything is fine.
Okay, so totem animals, we'll be doing one activity today with an icebreaker after Jay finishes about talking about the history and what the significance of totem animals are. Okay, and how it can be implemented in art therapy, in art based sessions, where you can bring out the core personalities of a person. So it's more related to the core personalities and what the core beliefs of the person is, or what are the challenges which the person is facing in order to cope up with their daily life stressors. Okay, so we'll start it and we'll see how we are connecting totem animals, the concept of totem animals in art based therapy sessions. Okay, so Jay, you can take it over now.
Okay, great. Thank you, ma'am, for that. And just now we got introduced to a little bit of totem animals in regarding to art therapy, and I will be talking about a little bit about what totem animals is, the concept of totem animals. So just a minute, I'll just present my screen. Okay. I hope my screen is visible now. So yes, hi guys. Welcome to the sixth day of art therapy, and today we are going to be talking about totem animals. And yes, let's get on with it. So first of all, let's talk about where this concept comes from. This is a concept that is being uh, given in the Native American tribes, and the basic idea of totem animals is like the guardian angels, uh, and the the idea behind totem animals is to approach one's spirituality, and this can be done in a very non-threatening way. uh, Totem animals can be viewed as the universe or god or source at work, basically watching over each one of us and providing us with what we need on the each steps of the way. So basically, in our day-to-day life or in our professional life, it helps us to basically guide on what path we have taken, right? And hence it can be a very powerful experience for an individual. So now that we got a basic understanding of what totem animals is, let's try to understand what totem is, the word totem, right? So totem is a spiritual being or a sacred object or a symbol of tribe, family, or perhaps a clan, and maybe an individual as well. So one of the greatest insight that these Native American tribes gives us is that one person is basically connected to nine total different animals in their life, and they help an individual in the course of their life or the course of work they are doing. So it's like and guardians all the way in life. So that's what totem is, and that's a little bit of what the tribe talks about. Other than that, the history of totem animals is basically they are different animal guides, and which are also called spiritual guides or powerful guides, which are some of the names that maybe you have heard or maybe read up somewhere. And as per these tribes, these animals come in and out of our lives depending on what direction we are moving, right? Maybe we are a student right now, so we might end up seeing a different animal. Maybe when we start working, we are seeing a different animal. So they are just trying to help us or guide us in our ways of life. And it helps us to do our task. So these are some of the ways it is helping us, these totem animals. So what further away this tribe talks about in terms of totem animals is that these spiritual animals or these totem animals are uh, something that are within us in the physical form as well as the spiritual world. Though people may identify with different uh, animals guiding them throughout their life. So as it talks about the nine different animals, they talk about when they talk about nine animals, they are guiding us in different ways or different times in our life. But it also talks about that there is one specific totem animal that will be the main uh, guided spirit for every individual. As in, we all experience one uh, main guidance spirit in our life while experiencing maybe nine or more different animals throughout our life. So this brings us to the question of what does this offer to us? What does knowing about our own totem animal helps us? So this total animal guide offers power and wisdom to us. Uh, and this is done when we are able to communicate with this, conveying their respect and trust towards this totem animal we have. And it does not necessarily mean that we, like the one who are able to find their totem animal, we that person has spent a lot of time with the animal, or they have done some meditation in order to do that. It's more about being open to learn its lesson that the animal is trying to teach us, right? So this brings to the last bit of my part, where the question is, how do we reach these or find these totem animals, right? So for some, finding or identifying perhaps these animals is like almost innate. So that means is that maybe you are always drawn to this particular animal, right? Or you might feel very special. You might have very special feelings regarding this animal's energies. So all that is like basically telling you this is the totem animal for you, right? And whereas for others, you might have to little ask or explore a little to figure out a totem animal. So yes, with that, this was a little bit about what totem animals is all about, and I hope this gives you guys a little clarity on the same. And with that, I would ask Dr. Leah, ma'am, to take it forward.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much for the introduction to totem animals. Okay, any questions at this juncture to Jay or to us, in fact?
Yes.
Can I go?
Yes, please, Priyanka.
Yeah, so I wanted to like I missed the first 2 minutes.
Mhm.
So I wanted to know that if they can be like any animals, and if you could just brief that what I missed in the first 2 minutes, it would be great because I just yeah.
Okay. Yes, the first question, the answer to it is yes. Okay, so it can be
Yes.
any animal form. It can be a bird, it can be an insect, it can be a land animal, sea creature, anything. Okay, so the options are unlimited. But yes, of course, we cannot keep exploring each and every animal. I'll come to that part, because what knowledge we have also interferes with our totem animals. Okay, because how many animals we are exposed to and how many animals we have been learning throughout our lives, like how many of we have it in our knowledge system, that will also influence how we view totem animals or our totem animals. Okay, so it may be culturally diverse. Okay, so the cultural aspect is always there when we are dealing with totem animals. The first part, Jay, can you just briefly tell them what it is all about? Very briefly, maybe in 2, 3 lines.
Yes. So basically, I'll just stop sharing. Okay. So initially we were just talking about where this concept of totem animals come from. So we were talking about it comes from Native American tribes, where they spoke about totem animals and how it helps ones to reach their spirituality while guiding them in their life. So this is a small brief about what we were talking about. And I
Yeah,
hope
to
that
add on to
answers the
it,
question.
basically, totem animals started. Yeah, totem. Thank you, Jay. Totem animals, the concept of totem animals is basically your guardian angels, or the quality basically in an animal which will guide you throughout your life. Okay, as per the Native Americans, they believe that each of us have a guardian angel and each of us are protected by certain qualities which we are lacking, and that's why each tribe made totem poles. If you have seen, I'll share a picture with you in the group, maybe if you have seen that totem poles, each of the members in the family, they keep on building or carving out animals which are very close to their heart, the qualities which are very close to their heart, and with what they feel strength. Okay, so what they do is each tribe will have a set of members who will be carving out these particular animal structures, and they're going to pile up upon each other. You'll see different animals piled up one on top of each other, and there's no specific animal particular to one tribe. It is individualistic. That means if you are a group of say 56 of us here, that means each one of us has a different totem, if we consider this as a family. Okay, it is not necessary that Emojar has one animal only and some other group has a different animal. It's not like that. So these tribes followed this ritual in a very serious manner. Now I come to the concept of Indian goddesses. uh, Anyone can relate to totem animals and Indian perception of totem animals? Anyone
Yes,
who can tell me?
right,
Yes,
right.
Usha. Yes, please.
So, ma'am, we have elephants, deers, which are often used. So, there are many
Yes,
statues which show
yes,
deer heads. Lion
yes,
is also there, one of the things.
absolutely,
And there are
absolutely.
birds as well, eagle.
Hmm. Okay, if we talk about Ganesha, who's his companion, the animal, not
Mouse.
Ganesha, mouse. Okay. Next, we have maybe Saraswati, swan, Lakshmi,
Ullu, owl.
owl. What else do we have? Come on. There are 33 crows, god and goddesses. Peacock, Kartik, right? But if you start relating, Durga is with lion, right? These are the animals which will give you the exact quality of the god or goddess. If we talk about Ganesha, mouse, they're all over the place. They're very busy bodies. And when we do sthapana or when we do something which we're starting off, we need to keep ourselves busy and active. So that's the quality of the animal.
Ma'am,
Kartik, Shivji with snake, to keep you protected in a relationship. Okay, you need to be very passionate, very aggressive, and very, what do I say, possessive about people, of your partner. Okay, so these are the qualities which each of the gods and goddesses also have with them, and that's the message which we get from the Indian context as well. Those are the totem animals. When we are worshipping gods and goddesses, we are also worshipping their Bahan, what we say. And that's the quality, if you contemplate, if you think over, that would be the quality which you actually look for. Okay, the personality characteristics or the quality which you generally want to imbibe within you. So I hope this concept is clear about totem animals and what we have in Indian context. Yes, any questions? Yes, Kosha, you want to ask something?
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, if in art therapy a client is drawing or choosing some totem animal,
Mm-hmm.
so is it that the client is somewhat choosing it and
Subconsciously,
the
yes.
totem is itself reflecting the personality traits of the client?
To an extent, yes. See, this totem animal concept is very, very deep. Okay, this is a very deep subject, but we are just doing it on the surface. But even in that context, if you're asking, there is a kind of a subconscious script which is going on within us. Something which we lack, we want to acquire, we'll be drawn towards it. Okay, whichever we are in conflict, we'll be drawn towards solving the problem. Our brain is wired like that in order to reduce the stress. So whatever animals or whatever animals you're having in your dreams, there are different, there is a spiritual part to it also. Those are called spirit guides or spiritual animals, but we are only focusing on totem animals and the personality characteristics of the person. I'll just show you a document where we have listed all the major subconscious elements which work on each animal, but we'll just do a quick activity first and then go on to that.
Okay.
Okay. So most of you may be knowing this activity, but it's one of my favorites and it's a very nice icebreaker if you can use it properly. Okay, so what you have to do is, it's a very quick thing. You don't think, just write down the names of 3 animals which come to your head first. That's all. Just write it down. 3 animals which you can think of, just write it down. It may not be your favorite animal. It should be spontaneous, no thinking here. If I have to write now, it would be rat, horse, and pig. That's what came to my mind without thinking. Lizard, parrot, horse. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is write down at least 2 to 3 adjectives related to what you have written, the animals. Okay. So if I've written mouse, horse, and pig, I feel there's no right or wrong to it. You may not, relate to what others say about mouses. What you feel about it, positive, negative, both you can write. I feel mouse are cute. They hurry and they're all over the place. Next,
Ma'am, only animals are allowed.
only animals.
I
Animals,
mean,
birds,
no
whatever. Means
insects.
the animal kingdom, basically, totally. It can be
Okay, can
insect.
I
It can
write
be.
butterfly? It
Sorry.
cannot be written. Butterfly?
Yes,
It's
yes,
not
of course.
animal, but
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay,
Insects,
thank you.
animals, birds, anything. If I have to write about horse, I can write majestic, shiny, powerful, and pig can be cute. Try to write 2 to 3. Uh, Cute and lovable. So that's my version. It's a great activity because every time you do it, you'll also be a little, cautious about how you are feeling at that moment or in that moment of time. So now come the analysis part. This is basically related to the Freudian concept of the unconscious mind or the unconscious slips which we get. So here's the analysis of the 3 animals. The first animal which you wrote is basically how you view people. How you understand people viewing you, like how people view you as. Okay, that's your understanding. You feel that people see me this way. Okay. The second one is the person whom you want to be. And the third one is basically the person who you are inside. That's your real self. The third one is your real self. The second one or the middle one is your ideal self. That's who you want to be. And the first one is actually what you are showing it to others on the surface. People view you as that way. That's what you're projecting into other people. So how many like got really okay? Yes, this is it. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead. You have a question? Vaibhavi, ma'am?
No, ma'am. I was just admitting that yes, I got that.
Okay. I'm pretty sure at least, 90% of you will agree to what you wrote. This is not what I said. This is what you found out about yourself. Okay. And this is a very nice technique to check in with yourself as well. If you're confused, if you are, having certain conflicts within yourself, or you are feeling that, yes, I'm not going somewhere, something is wrong with me, I'm feeling derailed. Okay. So this is a quick technique where you can check in with. Yes, please. Someone has a question? Posha, you have a question?
This
Yes.
is really amazing.
So,
I'm
ma'am,
glad.
uh, yeah. So this is funny, but I find white pigs with pink nose very adorable,
Uh-huh.
especially those babies. And one thing
Mhm.
what I have found out about pigs is that they uh, love to be with each other. They have very good
Mhm.
amount of cooperation. They are always in
Right.
group, and I'm
Right.
looking forward to that. So I think, yeah,
Mhm.
it's quite
Yeah.
true to some extent.
Yes. Yes. So this is a personality check, basically what you're feeling at that moment. Sarah, ma'am, do you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to ask, what if, like, when you said the first three uh,
Mhm.
animals that you can think of,
Mhm.
I thought of a mythical creature as
Absolutely.
one of them. Is that okay?
Yes, yes. There's no right or wrong in art-based techniques. What you can modify on is when you're giving this to your clients, what you do is ask them to draw it out. That fixates the people onto the particular activity.
Okay.
Okay, that will help you better analyze. And when you are spending time on the adjectives, focus more on the adjectives rather than the animal. Like if we look at pig, it's basically considered to be a dirty animal if we have to
Uh-huh.
see it that way. But for me, it's like a pink small pig which is scurrying around. For me, it's like cute. So I use the adjectives as cute and lovable, not as dirty. Even if you have negative adjectives, try to find out what is actually pulling you down there. Say sometimes many people will write sly, fox, or too clever, or those adjectives people use. So it's not about you being sly, it's about maybe you are not showing it to others what you feel inside. Maybe you are lying at one point of time due to certain reasons, so try to find out why are you lying. Okay, so it is not a negative that you have that negative inside you. It is due to some reason that has, come up with your negativity. Okay, try to find out. Another pointer here is the difference between the real self and the ideal self. Look
Yes.
into the second and third one. Like, are you actually sinking in on both these, parameters? If the difference between real self and ideal self is vast, if you have one side that you want to be powerful and on the other side you are timid and you're scurrying around and you're scared, these adjectives, if it's used, that means there is a discrepancy in what you want and what you have. And why is it so? So this can open up a lot of conversation during the therapy session. The
Thank
closer
you.
you are with your real self and your ideal self, the better it is for you to cope. Okay, if there are a lot of discrepancies, then you need to probe a little bit more as to why it's happening. There can be a lot of stresses around. So that can be an indicator also. Okay, so this was an icebreaker, and we'll go to the main part of Totem Animals. We have an entire document where your Totem Animals characteristics are written. But before that, what I would like you to do is just close your eyes and try to figure out which animal you are drawn towards. Okay, you do not force yourself. This is all part of the subconscious mind which will act. So be honest and just close your eyes and see which animal you can see in front of you. Okay, that's a very important step. You don't need to force yourself. Just visualize your field as to which animal or animals are coming up in your vision. And if you have seen a particular animal in your dreams several times, that also has an implication about your totem. So as soon as you get it, you can write it down in the chat, which all animals are surfacing in your visuals. For me, it's more often a tiger. Maybe you can find out your totem by doing that. Okay.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I am actually visualizing a wolf
Mhm.
more, and in my dreams, I have a pet dog, and in my dreams, my pet dog occurs a lot. Like she is always with me. So dog and wolf are like actually somewhat related.
Yes,
So
yes,
is
yes.
that like I
Yes,
don't know.
yes, absolutely. There's no nothing wrong in it. Okay, if you feel that yes, one animal reoccurs when maybe you are dreaming or whenever you're closing your eyes, you're seeing that animal more often. It's not that always you'll be seeing that animal. It's more like multiple times. Okay, more often. Go by more often rather than only maybe once or twice. Okay, so that can be your source of totem, or subconsciously we run the script of these characteristics within us which we want to acquire. So I'll come to that part as to what is what, and what are the characteristics of a dog, what are the characteristics of a tiger or a snake. Okay, but before I show you the entire document, even without a document, you can analyze your totems. Okay, so how will you do it? When you are engaging in one particular animal, say dog, or for me it's tiger, how do I perceive the animal? What is my perception about that particular animal? Can you quickly maybe write it down? And on a piece of paper, what you can do is quickly, you know, try to draw it, or maybe you can give magazines to people who are coming to your counseling sessions and cut out the animals and paste it, maybe a collage, or they can draw it out on a bigger sheet of paper, leaving the middle portion blank. Okay, and we'll also share a document with you where there are certain mandalas and zentangles inside, where you can also give as an alternative to color those totem animals. Whichever totem you have found out, that can be a quality which the person can take ahead with, where you can always incorporate certain collages and some drawings or some coloring. So these are the three alternatives. Or the fourth alternative is through clay modeling. You can use some clay in order to mold out that animal in maybe the most abstract ways, and then color it and write down the qualities there. Okay. Yes, please.
Ma'am, yeah. Ma'am, if somebody doesn't see animals in the dreams,
Mhm.
what?
Animals here, I mean the entire animal kingdom. It can be an insect, snake, uh, reptiles, or anything, birds. It can be anything, fishes, the water animals, anything. It's not only the land animals which we are talking about, it can be anything and everything. Each animal has certain specific qualities. There's a huge repertoire of this particular analysis of each characteristics of each animals. I'll send it across, but I want you to first describe how you feel about your totem.
Ma'am, like I usually don't see a dream.
Mhm.
So I don't know, I literally don't know what animals or whatever it is I'm seeing.
So for you, it may be just when you close your eyes, which animal surfaces, or the activity which I did, three animals which you can think of. You can quickly only note down the first one which you have taken up. The first one is generally the animal which you have within you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, I
Yes.
have frequently dream about the snakes and hogs the last 1 month. So can I draw that?
Yes, absolutely. Whichever you feel you are drawn towards. Another alternative to it is there can be a sheet of paper where you kind of paste all possible animals. for your clients. You can have a book also. If they are stuck, if they are not very sure about how to go about it, you can just hand over the book and ask them to flip through and see which picture or which animal they are most drawn towards naturally. Okay, it is not that forcefully I will point out something. It is just that you go through the pages and you are drawn towards it almost magically or naturally, and that becomes your totem for the time being. So we can go to the next step. After you've identified, you need to focus more on pictures, dreams, and visuals which are coming up. And then once you are done with it, once the person is also sure, you can go to the next step where you tell them to kind of write down their characteristics, what they feel. The best way to do is through either collage making, sculpture, or drawing it out, coloring sheets. Once they do that, then you ask them to write down around the sheet or on the object which they have created certain qualities which they feel this particular animal has. Mariam ma'am, you can watch the recording later because it's very difficult to, cut the flow and repeat the entire thing again. Okay, so basically for me, if I see the tiger, I can say that the tiger is all about courage, ferocious, strong. Okay, so these are the things which I see in a tiger. And just to tell a small, an anecdote over here, I've been a very timid person in my childhood, an introvert person, very unsure about myself. I'm still am, but that kind of gave me an insight that yes, these are the qualities which I need in order to proceed in life in every sphere of my life. This has been a problem. Facing certain issues or speaking up, that has been a major issue for me. So this kind of relates or resonates with how I see or how tiger became my totem. You can draw it now, you can draw it later, but I'm just talking about the procedure. Okay, because engaging in this particular thing can become your assignment, so you can submit it later on also.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
We were first supposed to write three animals which comes to our mind instantly without giving a thought, right?
Mhm.
Second, we were asked to write about three animals which we usually see in our dreams or which comes to our
Not
mind.
three animals. I said only one animal. How to
Oh
identify?
yeah,
The
sorry.
first three animal activity was just an icebreaker to understand personality patterns. Okay.
Okay.
And since it's related to totems, that's why I discussed. The second is your main activity where you need to finding out your totem. Like as we discussed, totems are symbols which you carry throughout your life, where you need to work on your personality, which are the loopholes. Okay, so this is how we are relating to art-based therapy. Once you identify your totems, as I told you, through pictures, through dreams, through visuals,
Yes,
through
ma'am.
discussions.
I
Okay.
have visualized that. Now, next is we were supposed to write adjectives like
Yes.
relating to those
Characteristics.
animals,
Yes.
Characters, right, right.
Yes.
Now,
How
are
you
we
view
supposed to
it.
draw?
It is better if you first finish off the art activity. Art activity over here would be to either draw out the animal. If they're not comfortable, you
Okay.
can get coloring sheets of those animals. I'll just show you in a while. The third thing you can do is sculpturing. The fourth thing which you can do is maybe they can just, draw an outline and write something around it.
Okay, okay. Got it, ma'am. I just had some confusion, so that is why I came. Thank
That's
you so
okay.
much, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I just have a question. So,
Yes.
ma'am, we are going to get emails for the assignment
Yes. In the end, not
in
now.
the end, not now. Okay,
Every day, whatever we are doing, that becomes your assignment. So,
okay,
whatever strategy which we are doing, that becomes your assignment. There's no separate assignment. And then in the end, we'll send you a link where you need to submit.
okay.
Maybe
So,
you can take a video of your art journal or you can take pictures of your art journal and submit.
mhm, okay,
There may be one or two reflective questions, but those will be minimal. Whatever work you have done throughout these 10 days, you have to submit it there and you will get time for it. Don't worry.
okay.
So I'm just sharing you a document where you can give as a handout. Like while I'm sharing it, I'll just tell you what to do next. After you have written out the characteristics of each animal, you will see you can give this particular, insight to the people. So if we go by, there's a huge list of animals here. See, we have listed out everything here. So once they have identified it, if they want to color in, as you can see, maybe someone has told alligator or crocodile, you can give this sheet, and these are the adjectives which are generally related to the totem. Okay, not before they write it down. After they write down their adjectives, you can give this sheet to them for coloring in, and you can discuss each of these, what they have, what they don't have, and how would it be if they have this particular quality within them, how would it help them basically. Okay, so there are different animal symbolizations. I will send this across. See, fish and all, these are the meaning keys. These are the symbol keys which we have. There is an enormous number of animals which we have listed. If we have missed it out, you can send it across to us. If any animal which we have missed out, we can, kind of compile it together. So these are the birds which are there. Peacock. There's several. Bear, someone was talking about bear. So these are the particular aspects. Not before you write it down, write your own adjectives. Try to find out that yes, whether I have those qualities or not. If I don't have, how is it important to me? Okay, since I'm drawn towards this particular characteristics, why is it required, or will it help me?
Ma'am, does polar bear fall into the category of bears?
Yes, yes,
That
of
specific.
course, of course. Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Okay, thank you.
Not only this, see, this is a kind of a set characteristics which is very, very ancient. Okay, this is a very ancient concept which has been transcended from generation to generation, and this is how they saw totems. These are the qualities which they saw. But now with an advancement around us, we can also analyze our own patterns. Okay, so that's why I asked you to write down your own adjectives and see whether it's of importance or not. Okay, and this can be a great conversation starter as well. Cheetah, tiger, lion, these are more or less similar. You'll see a lot of similar things. Also, dog was the most common answer which we got. So say, for instance, patience, loyalty, and friendship. You have written out, or you see these qualities, but you somewhere don't have them. Like, why is it so, or how can you, relate it to the importance of having this? Okay, because these are the things which we may be devoiding ourselves of, and that's why we are drawn towards something which is, giving us, or kind of substantiating us, or filling us up. Okay, that's how things work. When we are empty, we are drawn towards certain things which can fill up us. So this is how it works. Our subconscious mind or our unconscious mind works. So this is a huge list of, I'm pretty sure all of you will get whatever animals you have written out.
Ma'am, can you please share this on the
Yes.
group, like Telegram group?
I will maybe mail it because people are not there also. So I'll mail it to everyone.
Okay.
You'll get the PDF, don't worry about it. But before you get the PDF, I would like you to analyze your own objectives, because that will be important. Do the work, do the painting or coloring or whatever you have, because that will fixate you to the activity that will be remembered for a longer period of time.
Okay, ma'am.
So
Okay.
this is
Thank
how
you.
we explore personalities through totem animals and that particular icebreaker which I've given you. So it will be a quick way to not go by any personality questionnaire as such, but this will be a fun way of engaging yourselves. And something which the person lacks, doesn't want to talk about it, everything comes up. When you do it with others, you'll see a whole lot of things coming up. And that will be pretty interesting for the person who's also doing it. Okay, so I think today we can wrap up. If any questions you can ask, please. Yes, Priyanka.
The animal that I got and the qualities I wrote, it's like I don't feel that I lack them. Rather, I feel that I have the qualities, and
Okay.
that is why. So do I need to introspect again and think of something else, or is it
No,
can
no.
happen that way too?
It may be that you have acquired those qualities
Mm.
throughout while you were growing up, and you have it with you, so you are kind of having gratitude for it. That will,
Right.
strengthen your qualities further.
Okay.
Okay, and as I told you, this particular animal surfaced a
Mm.
lot of times, but I feel I've overcome a lot of it, but I still need to work on it. So
Right.
it's more or less like that works out.
Take it. Thank you.
I just want to know that you said earlier that we have to write three animals. That was just an icebreaker. Afterward, then you said write one animal which you can imagine or you see in your dreams. These can be different from which
Yes, yes,
from the
yes,
icebreaker.
absolutely. Absolutely. This can be different. See, totem animals is a recurring animal which comes up, but the first activity which I did, it's a very quick icebreaker and it's a check in with yourself. It will differ day to day, maybe hour to hour also. Okay.
Thank you.
But totem animals are more or less constant or recurring.
Ma'am, so you just said that clients have to carry something out like after the activity is done.
Hmm.
So I wasn't clear about it. So is it
No,
the new
you can no
personality?
no. You can give the personality reflection. See, it is not possible to cover
Mm-hmm.
each and every part of counseling,
Mm-hmm.
through this session. But when you come up with certain, leads, basically, when
Mm-hmm.
people talk about that, these are the characters which I see. You ask them that which are the characteristics you feel that you lack, or do you have any of these? How do you feel about it? If you don't have any, how can you bring about changes, or what can make you feel this way, or do you actually need these qualities? How will it be if you have this quality? Okay,
Okay.
both
Mm-hmm.
positives and negatives, not only qualities, both positive and negative. Because I'll give you an example. Assertiveness is positive, but at the same time, if it's overwhelming, if it's done too much, that can become someone who's perceived to be as extremely rude and rigid. So too much of assertiveness is also not good, because we generally get influenced that be assertive, draw boundaries all the time, but it's not always possible. You have to somewhere negotiate, where you have to give in at some point of time. Okay, so these are the things which come up when you are discussing with your clients, and this can lead to a lot of open-ended questions. Okay, and after which
Yeah.
they can be given further work on, or they may be given that these are the totem animal characteristics. Alongside, in addition to what they have written, you can always give them this additional coloring sheet, and further talk about it. Say, for instance, someone has written only one thing and they are stuck. You'll find many of them doing that. Okay, so you can help them with this additional sheet and talk about it, that this is how totems are viewed or were viewed in ancient times. Do you feel you have all these, or do you feel you can relate?
Okay. And then
Okay.
the support group link would be shared. Like,
Support group link I've shared long back. I'll reshare it when I'm sending you the mail again.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Because I haven't received it. So
Support group we haven't created. Sorry, it's the
yeah.
Telegram group link which we
Okay.
have
Okay.
shared. I'll send
Okay.
it.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, then see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you so much, all of you, for joining in.